Well, hello. I hope you can see me today and that we're live. Just going to check on my page. You know how it is. My button says I'm live, but I just now need to make sure. So how is everyone today? I hope you're all doing well and that you have had a good long weekend again. For Anzac Day. There's been a lot happening in that aspect. I can't believe that we're nearly at the end of April. Hello, Rochelle. How are you? So lovely to see you on here today. I hope you've had a great weekend as well. Yeah, so we haven't got long to go and our catalogue will begin. So my customers will have received these. If you would like one, just give me a call or send me a private message and I'll get one in the mail to you. But if you have a demonstrator, contact your demonstrator first. So this is it, isn't it gorgeous? It's lots of goodies inside here. So yes, it's certainly something that you'll like. Even next Monday, I won't be able to show you the card yet. Oh, that's good. I'm glad you're doing all right. Yeah, so next Tuesday, tomorrow week, it goes live. So then from then on, we can show you the inside of the catalogue and we can show you what it's all about. And it's packed full of goodies. Now, the catalogue isn't as thick as it normally is. Hi, Jacinta. Is it lunch break? Yeah, these catalogues are planned well in advance. We now have an online store, and that online store means that Stampin' Up can put it there quickly for you. So don't forget to go to the store and check out the online exclusives. So also on the 6th of May, you will also discover a whole heap of online products that are going live as well. So, oh, you've got a day off, Jacinta. That's really good to see. I know you had a lovely break over Easter, so it's nice that you've got a day off again now. So anyway, what I might do, there's not a lot to tell you at the moment, simply because it's getting to the end of the catalogue. Online, last chance items, some of them are going quick. If you have had your eye on a bundle, go to the last chance item, see if it's there. And if you're interested in it, don't get the bundle. Get the items individually. You can save quite a bit of money by doing it that way. So, and I should have checked before I went online and I didn't. So I am sorry about that. But yes, just go in and have a look, see what's available. It's changing daily as products get sold out, it'll be there. So yeah, have a look and you'll see what's going on from there. So anyway, what we might do, you know, I better introduce myself. For anyone new who's watching, my name is Anita Mazzero and I'm a Stampin' Up demonstrator in Horsham, Victoria, Australia. And the reason I go Victoria, Australia is because there's a Horsham in the UK. So we distinguish that. If the button's live up there, I am live with you. Well, let me see. Yes, you're right, Rochelle. There are so many good items in the last chance list and you don't want to miss out on them because once they're gone forever. You won't be able to get them again. And the savings are really, really good. I swear I either need a larger print or I need to sit closer to the screen. The old eyes are not doing too good. And it doesn't help that I have floaters in my eyes, so it means reading sometimes can be really hard. Some days are worse than others. So anyway, so from this blind back, we will flip over. Now, if you're watching on my YouTube channel, don't forget to hit the like button, And don't forget, if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe, because that would be wonderful, as I'm growing that channel as well, and which allows people from different time zones to watch it when it suits them. Because sadly, Facebook have decided that 30 days is the limit for lives. So at the end of 30 days, boop, they've taken it away and we don't get to see it. If we don't download it straight away, we've lost it ourselves. I've spent a lot of time downloading products, downloading Facebook Lives onto YouTube. I've gone as far back as I can. So they're all there now. I did lose a lot a while back. Yes, Jacinta, that was so good with Sam. 200 games and a life member. I think that is something, as parents, you and Stuart should be very, very proud. And that is a great achievement, as not everyone gets to do that. So you're very, very lucky there. And hello, Sharon. How are you today? So this is really good. So what we'll do is we'll flip the camera down and we will have a chat and get started on our new products. So just bear with me while I flip the camera over. Here we go. We'll get in there so I don't need the catalogue anymore. So today I'm going to be using some of the products that will be available next week. I'm going to have a play with the gallery. Delightful Gallery Suite, I think that's what it's called. Anyway, this is the suite that we're going to be playing with. So I would just have to come out a fraction more, because come back. It used to be good when I used to be able to set it up and it would stay exactly where I wanted it to be. Now it moves around. So it gets that way. So we're using the Gallery Blooms. This is a stamp set that has just got beautiful flowers, allows for lots of things that you can do with it. And I'm also using the dies. Now the Gallery Bloom dies, just packed with dies, and this beautiful square die cuts 3 layers at a time. So this is absolutely beautiful. You like this, Rochelle? I'm not surprised. I think I've played with this a fair bit because it is very versatile, sweet. Hello, Miss Kay. How are you going? Not long till you can put weight on that leg. It'll be really good when you can. This is the other part of the Gallery Bloom suite. It's a double suite, which means it has 2 sets of dies and 2 sets of stamp sets. It also comes with a embossing folder, and this embossing folder is the Damask embossing folder, which is, I don't know if you can see that. If I put that underneath it, it's got this beautiful little design all the way through it. It is absolutely gorgeous. And then it also comes with a ribbon and some gems. So these are the beautiful motive dies. Now, with beautiful motive dies, let's put that one aside because I'm not sure if I'm using that one yet. We have 2 standalone dies, which have nothing to do with the stamp set, but these 2 cut standalone. But these will only cut partially so that you can pop them up on your thing. I haven't played with them yet, but these 2 I have used a lot because I just love the dies. So that's that, and we'll pop them aside. Now, the paper that comes with this suite is absolutely beautiful. So there are 12 different designs in the Delightful Gallery DSP, or Designer Series paper, or as I heard someone say the other day, double-sided paper. So it is absolutely beautiful. So you've got a beautiful scenic scene, and then you've got a more plainer scene in the background. Beautiful. Well, I call these old English countryside scenes. They're just gorgeous. Again, a plain background. This very sketchy looking tree, I would call it, I would say. And then on the back, you've got this beautiful plain. So, you know, if you don't like side A, side B is just as good. We've got just a nice countryside, bit stormy looking, lovely. And there's that damask appearance like the folder that it gives. So it's really, really pretty. Then we have this beautiful, another beautiful one looking down along the river, and the colours are just beautiful in this. And then on the other side of this one is a sketch, a charcoal sketch. And so that's really good. Hello, Cherry, how are you? Glad to see you here today. It's really good. So beautiful charcoal sketch. So that allows you can either make it monotone or you can add to it and brighten it up, but it just allows your imagination to run wild. Then we've got this very unusual, I'm not even sure which is the right way, but it's a very unusual piece. I find it very old era, so it's something very different. And then the flip side to that one, put that up, flip side is just this beautiful soft cloud cover. And if you love roses, have a look at that one. How pretty is that? It is just divine. Beautiful roses sitting there. That you could pop in a frame and there's a gift. Yeah, it is like a wallpaper, Rochelle. I'm trying to work out what era it would roughly be. It's like I've seen it somewhere, but I just can't pinpoint when it is. But yeah, it probably a very 70s wallpaper. Could even be a bit earlier than that. But yes, it's very wallpapery. But it's beautiful. So the roses, and then again, you've got just a very, I'd say I'd call this looks a bit more like our old olive. You've got another countryside scene. And this has got roses on the back. Now you could colour them in. You could leave it in this colour scheme and pick up other colours through with it again. Yeah, tapestry, yeah, it could be that. It's certainly an intriguing one, I think. You know, some people will love it, some people will hate it. So, and look at that. Bowl of roses. Beautiful, beautiful sketch. Another one you could just pop into a frame easily. And then on the back side is another like wallpapery look, but much finer than this one. So really pretty. We then have another sketch one, and it is just lovely. Now the colour in this sketch, I do not know if it's black or secret sea, because it doesn't matter which way I put it with, it seems to pick up these colours. So the secret sea brings the bluiness of it, the black makes it more black. So this is a very interesting sketch. And then again, you've got that wallpaper tapestry look on the back. Some more beautiful roses with a street scene on the back, or a map. And then the one I'm using today is this one, which is the roses. And this is using the secret sea and the cloud cover. And then on the back is a cloud cover design. So they are all the 12 papers in this set. And it is absolutely beautiful. So I think this particular paper, there's 48 sheets of 6x6, and I think this paper will just fly out because I do think it is amazing. Right, but not lose all the bits. Get them over there. So I've got a piece of the Secret Sea here, which is our standard card base, which is 21 centimetres by 14.9, scored at 10.5. And this looks a bit small, and it is. I do not know what I did there. I have grabbed the wrong piece. So I'll need to recut the card base. So I don't know why. Oh, I know what's happened. When we were on stage, we got given the American letter size cardstock. I've seen this, just assumed it was ours, and cut it and divided it. And so that's why I've got this odd sheet piece. So that wasn't very nice of them to do that when they did that to us. So I'll just open this up and I'll redo my... I've got my sheet, my pack of these, what I call the Australian, the metric sizing. So it was very weird that we got the American paper because, you know, like a few of us, we just grabbed it, we cut into it and thought, this doesn't look right, but that's what it is. When I'm making card bases, you did that too. Yeah, it's exactly right, Rochelle. It really does throw you when you got something different. And as soon as I saw it when I was showing it to you, I thought, this doesn't look right. It's too small. So it was. When I'm cutting card bases and I'm using a sheet of A4, I do two at the same time because I'm going to score first. So I score at 10.5. So that means only one score line. Then I rotate it to 14.9 and one cut. Bingo. Now it looks like a normal card. So then we'll fold that in half. You just get so used to your sizing you don't realise. And there is a big, you'd think, how much difference is there between those two pieces? Well, get that piece out again. So there's the piece I had before. Now I've obviously cut it down to 10.5, but look at the difference. There's a difference in it. And that's why we can never work with the American sizes. You need to make them back to your own size. Okay, so there's my card base. So I also have, now my notes have gone underneath everything now that I had to cut that. Because I don't want to give you the wrong sizes, I want to give you the correct sizing. So I have a card layer here in cloud cover, and that is 13.9 by 9.5. I have a layer of Secret Sea, which is 13.6 by 9.2, so just 3 millimetres smaller. For the inside, I have a cloud cover piece of 10 by 14.4. Oh, you haven't been well, Cherry? Oh, I didn't know that. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. I'm glad to hear that you're on the mend and you're fit enough to look after George and Margot. I bet they've missed you as well. So then I've got a piece of white, which is 9.5 by 13.9. So that's my insert piece. Then I've got a piece of our patterned paper. And this paper is 8 centimetres by 7.5. So I've got my strip, just cut that in half. But I'm going to use one side and keep the other side. And then I've got a couple of scrap pieces for embossing on. So what I'll do is I will move all these bits out of the way. And I've got my envelope over there because I do forget my envelope. I always remember my inside, but forget the envelope. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I need to take this. This is our front piece. Making sure I've got the right piece because I've got too many different pieces everywhere. And knowing me, I'll pull the wrong one out. One's smaller than the other, so that's the inside. Put that in there. I'd hate to go and stamp on the wrong one and then find out you've done it wrong. Yep, that's the right one. Do you ever do that? It's been a crazy day here today. I had to, our washing machine doesn't want to work when it wants to work. It does its own thing. So what it does is it will wash a load and you put your second load in and then nothing. It will not do anything. Turn it off. Can't get the door open because it's the front end. And you turn it off, you leave it for 12 or more hours, turn it back on, and she goes. And I've had a dishwasher that hasn't been working. So I thought, well, I've got to ring about the washing machine. So I ring the repairman, and he said it's a common thing with the machine that I've got. But the dishwasher, it decided, well, you haven't turned me on for 12 months. I'm going to go and decide to work now. So that was a really interesting thing. I'm hoping it will give its silly message that it gave prior to him coming tomorrow. I didn't know if he was going to come today, which was, I'm glad it was tomorrow. So I'm going to take this motive one, which is the design in some of our patterns that we were talking about before. So I don't know if you can see that properly there. So I'm going to use that design and we're going to emboss over the Secret Sea in white. But I'm just going to randomly stamp because I just want a very random look of this particular design. And it does have a right way because there's a flower in the middle and you need to make sure it's facing up. This is a photopolymer stamp, so I've got my pierce mat here. So I'm just going to stamp in this corner off to one side. And I'll come down a little bit on this one. Come in there. And I was exactly the same as this last time, trying to work out where to place everything. And I'll come in there. Come down here. A little bit down the bottom here. And because we're keeping it in the direction, I'm going to go upwards up here. So there we go. So I'm going to get that. I've got all of my stuff sitting here. My desk is an absolute pigsty. So I'm going to get my tray. Because I've covered the whole thing, I need to keep it flat. So I'm going to get the Wow embossing powder in white. I'm just going to sprinkle that over this. Let's use my tweezers so I don't knock things around on it. I'll just toss that around. Shake off the excess. I've got my brush here. And I know most of this will be covered, but I still want it to look right. So pop this back in the, oops. And they sent that flying too, so that's really good. So if you haven't got one of these trays, it's the embossing, I think it's called the Embossing Essentials tray. So you get the paintbrush, you get embossing buddy, and this tray, and the tweezers. And these trays are absolutely wonderful. You can use paper, but okay, let's clean that up. And I did spill some. Just use a wipe to clean that up. Just as easy. And to take that, and I'll get my heat gun. So please be with me. I hope this is not too noisy. So what's everyone been up to over the weekend? I know what you've been up to, Jacinta. And I'm pretty sure I know what you've been doing, Kay. Don't you just love it when you emboss and that just the colour changes from a very dull shade to a bright? I absolutely love it. And I used to hate it. I was terrified of embossing. But not so much anymore. Okay, there we go. It did take a little bit of time. Right, so while I've got the embossing out and letting that cool down, because you don't want to touch it too much while it's hot. Yeah, it's a beautiful shade, and I'll show you something else a little bit later as well with that background, Rochelle. It's just having that bit of texture, and that's all I wanted, was some texture. So I'm going to get my scrap piece here, and I've got this beautiful, this beautiful, to me, so I heard someone call it a thistle, but I think it reminds me of Queen Anne's lace that's out in the garden. And if you've ever seen it, it's very delicate and it's very pretty, and that's what it reminds me of. So I might be wrong that it's something else, but that's what it reminds me of. So I'm going to stamp my image, and I'm going to stamp my first one. I'm going to do 3 of these, but I'm going to emboss them in 3 different shadings. So my first one, I want to emboss in clear. I just want to enhance the colour of the cloud cardstock. I'll do one at a time, because I can't really do all 3 at once without the colours mingling, and I don't want that happening. Yeah, it is a lace flower, you're right, Kay. I think that's why it reminds me of Queen Anne's lace. There we go. So the clear embossing has just brought out the colour of the cardstock just a little bit darker. So it's really pretty that way. Excuse me. Right. Now I'm going to do another one. Stamp that one. Oh, that's not a very good image. do that again. That looks better. And you know what, probably the other one was okay, but just to be safe, I'm doing it that way. So we want the white. So I'll just cover them both because, you know, can always use it later on, can't I? Well, she didn't do too bad. Always get away, take your little dregs away. I know I'm die cutting it, but still, we want it to look nice. And I'll just emboss this one. So we're not getting the rain that they're forecasting. I don't know where they're forecasting it for, but it's certainly not here. We will probably complain once it starts raining all the time. Okay, there's the white one. And now I'm going to do the last one, and I'm going to do this in silver. And silver, I think, goes really nice with the cloud cover. Perfect. You can see I don't use silver very often. I use white more than anything else, and black. But when you get the colours, it always seems to be one in the pack of 3 that you don't use. It was better when you could buy them individually. That's not to be. Right, so put that aside. And one more to emboss. So there we go. There's the 3. And actually the white one didn't turn out too bad. I could have saved myself the trouble of stamping a second one. But there we go. We've got it in silver, white and clear. And the clear gives that beautiful effect. I have pre-cut these out so we can put this aside. We can use that for another day. Just give this a wipe to make sure that there's no dregs floating on there. Now what I'd like to do with this is I want to put some colour on the edges. And it's just to give it a little bit of depth. I'm going to take my blending brush, and this is a very strong colour, so I'm just going around and taking it around the edges, just to give it a bit of texture around. Bring that through. Now wipe that. And as this is nearly dry, I'm just going to wipe where the embossing is, because the blending will not blend on the embossing, so we're just taking that bit of colour off the top, but you still can see it where it's gone elsewhere. I really wanted that to just give that effect. So you can see the colour difference between here and here. So you can, if I show it to you up like that, you can see that it's much darker around the edge, and I've left that, still kept that white, and that's giving it a bit of a focal point at the same time. Pop that away. Secret Sea and Cloud Cover are definitely my favourites in this catalogue. Right. I'm going to glue this down flat onto this. Good old Tombow glue. And just put some of that on. Because it's only a very small border, you just want to make sure you've got it well and truly centred properly. There we go. Flip it over that side. I'm going to put some ribbon. Now it came with basic beige, and I'll grab probably may not show up on camera, but I've got white ribbon, or I've got basic beige ribbon, and I felt myself this was too brown for what I've done for everything else. So I personally have gone for the white ribbon. So I'm just going to pop a piece of ribbon. Actually, before I do that, I better put these two pieces on so I can judge where they're going. Hello, Wendy, welcome. So I'm going to put this on, and I'm going to put them the reverse side down first, because I want that underneath. You're too kind, Wendy. Yeah, that's right, Kay. The white is definitely the colour for it, because the basic beige it more looks crumb cake against it. Then I'm going to put the roses, and you've got to make sure your roses are up the right way. I'm just going to pop that like so. And then put my ribbon like so. So I just want to use it where the corners come across. So I'll just pop it and get some tape and tape that into place. Making sure it's nice and straight. Pop that there. Now I'm going to just take this out, and I'm just going to put some dimensionals on the back. When I use tape, I will always lift the tape off, because this backing is plastic. So if you're putting dimensionals down, it will lift your dimensionals. So always just lift the tape off. So we'll pop dimensionals on the back. And I always put one where the ribbon is as well, because it just helps to keep it in place. And then down the middle. Cannot forget the middle. Take your pick tool and lift your backs off. Put them in there. They're all off. And I'm going to place that in the middle of my card front. Don't press it down until you know you've got it exactly right. Because once the dimensionals are down, they are down. Right. Not very straight there. Oh, I haven't got my eye in today. Oh well. Jeepers creepers, where am I today? Do you have days where you just cannot line it up? Okay, there it is. All nicely done. So I'm going to take my 3 pieces that I've die cut out. So that's why I didn't save die cutting. I didn't do it on here. So I'm going to put the 3 pieces on. So I want to put them over this side where I've got the more blank looking flower. But I want to work out how I'm going to sit them before I put them together. So I want to sort of have them like so. So what I want to do is carefully lift them up. And I'm going to just, because I'm going to cover with a bow, bow down the bottom here, and I can cover the staple. So I'm just going to put the staple down in here. You can barely see it because of the silver. But that holds that together, which means that when I come to putting my dimensionals on, I can put the dimensionals. Yeah, Wendy, the tones are beautiful. As I said, basic Secret Sea and basic cloud cover. They're beautiful colours, and they speak volumes on their own without really having to do a lot. So I'm just going to put some dimensionals, and I'm going to use the advantage of where they've crossed over to put some of the larger ones. Put one down the bottom there. A bit large, so I'll get some small ones. Pop these in place. And I wish we had some silver trim. I would like a little bit of silver trim to throw in behind it, because I think that would really bring it through. So I'm just going to take those off. As you can see, I've put probably more dimensionals than it needs, but I want it to sit in place. And then I'm going to just place that like so. And there, voila, that's on. And see, there's the staple where I'm going to put the bow. So with the ribbon, I'm just going to make a bow. I want it to be over big. It's looking nice. Just trim that down. And sometimes you need to look at both sides of your bow, because sometimes one side sits better. Hello Lee, how are you today? Better late than never. Okay, just a bit smaller. this to move. Sorry, I took that out of camera shot, and I'm very sorry for that. I just could not get one of it to move, and I didn't know why. Okay. That's better. Trim off the excess. And I'm going to grab a couple of glue dots to put on the back of that. Because it's a larger ribbon, I'm putting 2 on the back. That will just cover the staple, and it makes it look like it's meant to be. Look at that. How's that? All done. The gems that we got in this is these pressed flower motifs. Now they are really divine. Look at that. How sweet. I don't know if you can see them on camera, that they've got a little pressed design inside the embellishment. So they're nice and dark, but they're at the same time really nice. So I'm going to use these. So I'm going to put a large over there. And I'll put a small one there. And, oops, lost that one. I might put a small one down here. Now I've got to do my greeting. I haven't done that yet. So there we go. So now I'm thinking of putting the word happy birthday, taking the one off the Simply Said. I was going to check if this is still available. It's only because it was an online, so I'm hoping it is still available. So I'll just take I'll do it with this one. When it comes to sentiments, I'm inclined to put it on a block, on an angle, like in the middle of a block. I don't know why, but I get it straighter. So that's my reasoning, and I'm sticking with it. So I'm just going to take that, and before I push down, what I didn't do was use my embossing buddy. And I realised I didn't do it in between the stamping of the flowers. Pop that on. Beautiful. I'll get my white. Show any straggly bits. I will be cutting it so it's not going to matter. Just emboss this so that it comes through. Go. Just give that a minute to dry. I might put that aside while I do the insert so that I don't smudge it, because let's face it, you don't want to go to the trouble of doing it and then finding it smudges, because it does. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my envelope and my insert, grab my I'm going to get my motive stamp, make sure I've got it the right way, and I'm going to stamp off, I might stamp off a second time and that gives me an effect of some cloud cover, because when it's stamped off a bit, it does look like cloud cover when it's dried. So I'm going to do exactly the same and pop that on my envelope. Then I'm going to use a full strength one, and I probably should have done this before I stamped off, but I'm going to use a full strength one, and I'm just going to sit this on the side at the back. And I did this last time only because my envelope hit the ink pad, which meant I had this blob, but I was able to cover it. I'm going to take my lacy plant, full strength. I'm just going to pop that there, and then do the same again on the inside. I mean, we can't have naked envelopes, and we can't have naked insides. A lot of the time I forget the envelope when I'm doing a live. Oh, thank you, Sharon. Simply Said is still available. So this stamp set is still available if you're interested in it. So it's really good. So glue this together. How nice would this card be in the mail for someone for their birthday? To me, you could even use it as a sympathy card. It is one that I feel doesn't tend to be over florally, but yet it has the beautiful florals that you can turn it into something florally. It also doesn't have, that it can be used as a sympathy card, because let's face it, we all have to send them, and it's not a nice time, but it is nice if you can find something you can in your cupboard that you can go to and whip up a card and know it's going to look really nice. Right, there's the inside. Now we just got to put the sentiment on. And I'll just, somewhere in the mess on my table is my mini trimmer, and I don't know where it is. I will get to clean this place up. It will happen. Okay, so I'm just going to take that. Oh, beautiful. Just perfect. Put that away. I want to just place the happy birthday over here. So I'm not going to put dimensionals on that part of it, but on this side I will put a couple of dimensionals, because we've already put the flowers on dimensionals. So I'll pop a couple of dimensionals on this side. And then we'll pop a tiny bit of glue to secure it on this side. And we'll pop that like so. And there you have it. There's the card. And there's that. So by putting the flowers more over the reverse side of the roses, it gives it effect. And then we've got this beautiful envelope that shows it as well. And this is the one I made earlier, where I put the paper on the opposite side. I used Secret C underneath and just made it into a thank you. And there it is there. So just a very different look for a card. And I did do an envelope for that one, which is here. As you can see, it had a blob. So there's the envelope for that one as well. So I hope you've enjoyed that today. As I said, this will be out next Tuesday. This set will come out, and it is, to me, it's a beautiful suite. Thank you very much, Rochelle. I've loved playing with it. If I'm right, I think I used this suite last week. So yeah, it's so pretty, and you can do so much with it just by the way you add it and do a little bit. And I was inspired by something in the catalogue. Just changed it around a little bit. So that's what I've done. So don't forget, use your catalogue as an idea. Thank you, everyone. I really appreciate that. I like the card and I was very happy with it. So the fact that you like it is the icing on the cake. So anyway, I'm going to say goodbye, and I will see you next week, 1:30 on Monday. Thank you for watching, everybody. Bye for now.